Hey, Terrell Collins. I wasn't shocked to hear that NBC has chosen to move The Tonight Show to New York City when Jimmy Fallon takes over. The Big Apple has always been the top hub of the world's best in entertainment. The comedy circuit is a true act of street speak. The comedians have lived the life, studied the habits, and become part of the addiction. Comedian Lisa Landry is one of them. We're plugged in and totally uncut with the cowboy boot-wearing Louisiana native turned city-slicking funny girl on a shtick. My first question for Lisa, look how short that skirt is. Does that make it easier for girls to have fun in comedy?
I think it used to be a lot harder. When I first started, I've been doing it 15 years, and when I first started, they wouldn't put two women on the same show. Even if one was white, black, Latina, they're all going to talk about the same stuff. And now it's blown up. I often get to work with women. I think things have changed.
They used to do that with radio because we couldn't put Reba McEntire up to Dolly Parton.
No two women in the same hour.
Would you ever do radio?
I would love to do radio, but the hours would kill me. I don't know how y'all get here this early in the morning.
How do you stay up so late?
Because I like it. But I'm not a morning person.
Have you ever thought about doing podcasting and stuff?
I have, but, I travel a lot. So it's the whole idea of being back in one city with all your equipment on a certain day or packing your equipment and bringing it with you. And I have a lot of makeup. I have a lot of boots.
Oh, so that's your makeup is the boots?
Yeah, boots. Boots and makeup.
Are you a cowgirl? Or what?
No, I just like boots.
How does that happen? Where'd that come from?
I fall down in high heels. I don't know. Girls got to have her go-to, right?
Do you find it easier to be raw more on stage? Are we more acceptable to that? Or how do you react to it?
I don't know if it's easier to be raw, but it's easier to get instant feedback to what people are enjoying or what's just provocative,
Do they tweet you right off the bat?
I would imagine they could, but I never check while I'm on stage to see what's coming in.
Now, as a writer, they always tell you that forget about the critics. Do you find yourself that way with your audience and stuff? It's like, look, it was, you can't give me your opinion. I'm going to do what I do.
Most people don't give you an opinion. If they like a bit, they'll tell you, I really enjoyed that. It's just human nature to just, like, maybe I don't like your shirt. I'm not saying that I don't because it's cool. But maybe I don't like your shirt, but I'm not going to be like, I don't like your shirt. Instead I'll be like, oh my God, I love your haircut.
Do you try to stay away from the politics?
I stay away from political humor because it's very polarizing. And I don't know, we need more love. I think as a species, there's enough rancor. But I don't really watch the news. I haven't watched the news in probably a year. Isn't that awful? I don't know what's going on in the world. I've been going through a divorce, so I've been focusing on just...
That's the top story.
Korea hates us, right? Are they going to bomb us or something like that?
Yeah.
What are they... Somebody told me that, but I just lost weight, so I really hope they don't do it soon. It would have been cool if they bombed us like a year ago and I was like 60 pounds bigger. I'd be pretty pissed if that bomb works.
What are you doing to lose weight?
Tequila diet.
Nice.
It's easy.
Yeah,
I've tried everything, but this is just, you just eat once a day and drink Patron until you pass out. It did help me lose weight and make some very questionable decisions that I appreciate. Got a lot of good stories. But yeah, maybe it does help you put a joke together. I don't know. It's hallucinogenic. So things happen in slow motion. I have time to stop, but I don't think I will.
Do you find YouTube a hinder, or do you actually use it as a tool?
I have a channel that I have not updated. Yeah, so I have clips that need to go out there. I just released a new CD, and I'm in the process of putting everything together for the marketing of it. Of such. But, the first time I released a CD, it wasn't all this. YouTube was there, but it wasn't the same monster that it is now.
How do you release a CD in a generation that's addicted to iTunes?
It's on iTunes.
So they can
download it on iTunes.
Is it still a routine?
Boys and girls. Huh?
Is it still a routine? Do you find yourself going, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, we have formatics in radio. I have to say this. I have to say this. Oh, man, I might be able to say this.
I typically know my opener and my closer. Everything else is up for grabs. There's a way that I like to do it, especially because I just released a CD. So, the last few months have been very much honing in, and I want to put this here, and I want to build that there. But I think that happens with a lot of comedians typically. We know our opener and our closer, and everything else you never know because every comedy show is different. The audience is different. That's what's so beautiful about live comedy. It will never be repeated.
What keeps you in it after 15 years? I mean, come on, late night Taco Bell taking orders. That to me seems like the ultimate job.
Stability. You know, you're in the same place every day. You got pictures of your loved one right there by the speaker. I couldn't see doing anything else. I mean, I could see moving towards something else in this industry. I could never be in the same place every day. I think I would go crazy.
Do you write the joke first, or does it hit you first? And do you laugh while it's happening, or do you really put a lot of thought into it?
I very rarely laugh at anything that I do. Yeah.
Wow. How do you know
I guess because you get analytical.
Yeah, okay.
You get analytical about it. You know, I'll jot it down. I'll have stuff that happens that makes me laugh all day. I'm like an 8-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, I can laugh all day at I had something happen. I was just telling a friend in court a few days ago because I just got divorced, and something happened that made me laugh for a good 72 hours after. And it's just a moment in time. But when I I'm like, oh wow, that's funny. I should write that down. When it's something out of my head, I don't usually laugh at it.
Is it difficult to be the perfectionist?
I'm not a perfectionist. I've let that go. I used to be married to one.
Oh no!
And you can't. Because you can't ever get there. So you're just setting yourself up for unhappiness. Mm-hmm. We're not designed for that. You can pursue it. Mm-hmm. You can pursue something as best as possible, and that's awesome. But not perfection.
How much does it take in the guts department to go out there and try a new joke nowadays?
It's harder because people have cameras and people are a lot more. I think. I don't want to say critical. I want to say cynical. You know, there's a lot of great tweets that are very funny. There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of just random stuff out there. Mm-hmm. So I think that combined with all the reality shows where we've been set up to judge others makes it a little bit more of a cynical society. So it is harder than it used to be. Plus there's the pressure of it better be funny, you know? But I find, for me, I just try to sandwich stuff. If I'm going to do something new, I'll try to throw it in between something I know is going to do very well. You know, you chunk it.
So there's a little bit of science involved here.
Especially when people are coming out to see the live show. You don't want there are a lot of comedians who will do that. You know, just come out with a notepad and just do 20 minutes of new, and that works for them. But that doesn't make me feel good about what I'm doing.
You got to have that comfort zone.
Yeah.
So with tweeting, with Facebook, that had to have shortened the length of a joke. Do you have to get to the point quicker? Because we are in that DVR generation. It's like, come on, get to the funny part.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, but what I try to do is have jokes on the way to the big punchline, the big payout. I think a lot of comedians do that, especially the more seasoned comedians, understand that even if I'm telling you a story and we're friends and we're sitting around and we're drinking a beer together, I'm not just going to talk for 5 minutes and then have one joke. You know, it's going to be a build in the story because all kinds of random stuff is going to happen. That's just human nature.
Who got you in the biz?
This is such a crazy story. I was right out of theater school, and I got hired to work in a theater in New York for a whopping $9 an hour. But it was a big deal because I'm acting. I'm getting paid to act. And it was 4-hour shifts, so you could have all this audition time. And I was working with a woman who used to work at a comedy club, and she was a musical theater person. Very, very talented singer. She got hired to be the comedy agent at a top 5 agency. So she pulls me on the side. She says, you know, you're really funny and you're young. You can learn how to do this. I want you to go get funny professionally. Go learn stand-up comedy and I will be your agent. Right? And so I'm doing these gigs where I'm driving 4 hours for $25 to MC in the back of a bar. You know, or I'm driving 6 hours to go MC for no money, but I get a hotel room for the weekend, and I'm doing what I can to get the open mics everywhere. And she got fired.
Oh no!
And I was like, well, I kind of like this though. She was right. I do enjoy it, so I'm still here.
I've always thought of comedians as being hypnotists. Do you believe that?
Yeah, there's a lot of science to what we do. There's a lot of rhythms. There's a lot of patterns. There's a lot of psychology that you use to set up what you want to do and where you want to take a crowd.
And if they don't react right, do you ever get pissed?
No.
Really?
No, because it's not their fault. I didn't do it right. I mean, I'm not a hypnotist. I don't hypnotize people. I'm not a prop act. But there are nuances to what I do to where I want to go. Sometimes I will be in a market that doesn't maybe appreciate me talking about a marijuana card because they don't have that experience here. But if I've set up where I want to take them, they understand why I want to go there. And so they will go. But maybe it's my fault because I left out a line because I was hurrying to get to the bunch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like maybe I didn't massage because every audience is unique. People are the same. Humanity is the same. But there are certain parts of the world, every world, every place you are, that you see things differently, you know?
Yeah. Do you ever have to pee in the middle of a set?
No.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Wow, yeah.
Even if I had to, it just goes away. I'm like a camel.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Lisa Landry, The Comedy Zone, Charlotte, this weekend. Get your tickets, CLTComedyZone.com. CLTComedyZone.com.